And at a combative hearing on Capitol Hill yesterday, Attorney General Pam Bondi clashed repeatedly with Democrats, facing a grilling on everything from weaponizing the Justice Department to the Jeffrey Epstein files. Bondi launched into personal attacks when accused of refusing to answer questions directly. Democratic Senator Adam Schiff summarized her deflections.
I think it's valuable that the American people get a sense of what you've refused to answer today. So these are just some of the questions you refused to answer, or have answered with personal attacks on members of this committee. You were asked whether you consulted with career ethics lawyers, as you promised you would do during your nomination hearing, when you approved the president receiving a $400 million gift from the Qataris. You refused to answer that question. You were asked who or what role you may have played, or who played the role in asking that Trump's name be flagged in any of the Epstein documents gathered by the FBI. You refused to answer that question. You were asked whether Homan kept the $50,000 bribe money. You refused to answer that question. You were asked whether Homan paid taxes on the $50,000 bribe money. You refused to answer that question. You were asked, did career prosecutors find insufficient evidence to charge James Comey? You refused to answer that question. You were asked, how are military strikes on these boats in the Caribbean legal? And you refused to even answer that question.
You were asked, a law degree,
excuse me. You were asked, did you discuss indicting James Comey with the president? You refused to answer that question. You were asked, did you approve the firing of antitrust lawyers who disagreed with the Hewlett-Packard merger? You refused to answer that question. You were asked whether you support a restoration fund for violent insurrections who attacked the Capitol on January 6th. You refused to answer that question. You were asked whether you were firing career professionals, career prosecutors, just because they worked on January 6th investigations. You refused to answer that question. You were asked by my California colleague whether you believe government officials, like immigration officials, have to abide by court orders. You wouldn't even answer that question. This is supposed to be an oversight hearing.
Oversight?
Excuse me, you can attack me after my time is over.
You've attacked all of us, including President Trump, for your entire career.
You can attack me later, and I know you've got plenty of canned attacks. We've heard them all day today.
Canned attacks on you?
This is supposed to be...
No one needs a canned attack on you.
Regular order, Madam Chair. I'm trying to speak. This is supposed to be an oversight hearing of the Justice Department. And it comes in the wake of an indictment called for by the president of one of his enemies. This is supposed to be an oversight hearing, and it comes in the wake of revelations that a top administration official took $50,000 in a bag.
One of the senators in that hearing, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, will join us a little later this hour. But, Joe, on Department of Justice-related matters, first of all, we're a matter of minutes from James Comey, the former FBI director, his arraignment. And just a few moments ago, President Trump posted on Truth Social, I'll just read it, Chicago mayor should be in jail for failing to protect ICE officers. Governor Pritzker also. So again, there's no suggestion of any wrongdoing or crime committed here. These are political foes of the President of the United States. And now he is seemingly once again suggesting or ordering law enforcement to go after his political enemies.
Wow. And again, just people that disagree with him on how to handle crime in Chicago. So again, this is, again, the pace is picking up. And we have, yesterday, you actually had a hearing, an oversight hearing, which happens. You see, I need to explain this for people in the White House who may not understand this. There are three separate and equal branches of government. Now, here's the deal. You're in the second branch. There's a reason it's the second branch, because the founders made Congress the first branch. It's the Article 1 branch. They have all the money, right? I know right now the Supreme Court's kind of gunking things up and not doing their job, but the first branch has all the money. They have the checkbook. And with that checkbook, they have oversight. And what happened yesterday was not an oversight hearing. It was somebody coming from the Article 2 branch and insulting members of the Article 1 branch for asking very basic, simple questions like, oh, I don't know. Is anybody in your administration taking $50,000 cash in a bag? Did you know anything about anybody in your administration taking $50,000 cash in a bag? We give you money, because we're the Article 1 branch. The money starts with us, Congress. So could you please give us some oversight on that? Could you give us some oversight, Madam Attorney General, since we fund, again, I don't know if the White House knows this or not, Congress funds justice. They fund the Justice Department. They pay their bills. Do you know that? Do you even know that? The Justice Department has its lights kept on by Congress. Now, John Kennedy yesterday, the Democrat from Louisiana, seemed to understand this when Donald Trump, the president of the United States, said, oh, we're just not going to pay people back pay. John Kennedy said, you'd better read the Constitution, Mr. President, because you don't have that power. And so Congress pays the bills, so Congress has oversight of the places that it funds, including the DOJ, including all of the agencies where these people are running around acting like they're little kings or little princes or little princesses. Now, we don't have like a monarchy. We have a constitutional republic, and there are three branches. And for the Attorney General to not answer any questions, but to literally come with canned insults, because there are a lot of questions that need to be asked. Like, for instance, did you ever speak to the President of the United States about arresting his political enemies? Because we all saw on social media that the President said, you need to arrest my political enemies, and you need to arrest my political enemies very quickly. So, it seems to me, in any Congress, in any year, since this constitutional republic was founded, this is a question that members of Congress would ask members of the administration. Yesterday, not a single answer. And as Jamar said early on, you know, we're supposed to be shocked and stunned and deeply saddened. I'm just not. That hurts. As Jamar said, that hurts the Republicans. That hurts the administration. That hurts Pam Bondi. That hurts the Justice Department to come off looking that way. It just does. And now Donald Trump talking about arresting a mayor and arresting a governor, like because he disagrees with him. How long is that list now of people that he said need to be arrested? And whatever happened to all the Republicans who said that Joe Biden, he weaponized the Justice Department and, oh, we're not going to do this when we get into power. It just keeps going. Add to the list. Over all the things they said they were not going to do. Free speech, forget about it. Forget about it. Cancel culture, forget about it. They're more into it than ever. Like Hunter Biden's chased around for what? $3 million for selling NFTs or whatever they're called and making $1,000 here and there. You know the tens of billions of dollars that are like floating around, the hundreds of millions of dollars that is floating around from foreign governments and cryptocurrency and everything. I mean, the hypocrisy is just outrageous. And you just wonder when there are going to be more Republicans who say, yeah, you know, this doesn't end well. This doesn't end well for us, Republicans. Doesn't end well for America. And again, I will say it again, I get so tired of telling people not to put their hands on hot stoves. They put their hands on hot stoves, they get burned, and then they go, oh my God, my hand hurts. You're setting precedents that an independent billionaire or a left-wing progressive who is power hungry will use to trample your freedoms when you're out of power. This is not hard, John. This is not hard. This is not hard. At what point do Republicans gain control of their senses to tell people, stop? Stop. You're setting precedents that will be used against Republicans in the years to come. Stop. But no, they want to go, oh, but look what Joe Biden did. Oh, what Joe Biden did was really? Did Joe? Let's just get the running tally, if we will, about what the Justice Department did under Merrick Garland, who, by the way, was constantly attacked by progressives for not weaponizing the Justice Department. Constantly. It's open. I mean, you can read the articles, you can read the columns, you can read the tweets. Merrick Garland should go after them. Why isn't he going after them? He's weak. And here they are. Now it's like, it's like a different person every day that he's going to arrest. Any Republican worried about, again, the precedent. What goes around comes around.
Republicans are not only not stopping it, they're allowing it to accelerate right now. And we've had combative oversight hearings in the past. I'd argue we've never had one quite as disrespectful. Joining us now, one of those.
Well, I mean, contemptuous. Just embarrassing. It was embarrassing. That's the thing. They want to shock us.
School or something.
They want to shock us. Let me just say, we are not shocked. You look stupid as shit. We are not shocked.
I'm not allow that.
You look dumb. You look like an idiot. We are not shocked by what you're doing. We're worried about the precedents that are being set for the future when they come after Republicans, when they come after independents, when they come after everyone, because they go, well, look at the precedent that was going on when Republicans were just sitting there keeping their mouths shut. Mm-hmm. We're not shocked. You do not shock us. We feel sorry for you because you're going to have to live with the political ramifications of this for years to come.